ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode, I'll be honest, I got no fucking idea what episode we're up to. 30-something of the Spearhead Sundays podcast. I hope you having a shit one. How was your Father's Day? Was it good? Did you have a good Father's Day? I did. My family, we fucking smash Father's Day. We really know how to do it. And what we do is fucking nothing because Dad is not interested in Father's Day at all, right? And I'm not saying that he's a shit dad, right? Great dad, great dude, just hates Father's Day. And you know what it is? I think he hates it because he's a fucking hippie. He hates the whole commercial aspect of it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like when I step into his head, because I want to celebrate Father's Day. Me and my brothers, I've only got one brother. We got another one. He's fucking chained up. We keep him a secret because he came out a little bit wrong. We're like, oh fuck, it's embarrassing. Chain him under the bed and we'll feed him scraps and hope the cops don't find out. But my other brother, my normal one, we want to do it. You know what I mean? Every year we're like, oh, what do you want to do for Father's Day? And he's like, you know what? Nothing. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go for dinner. I just want to do fuck all. And that's just Dad. And I'm pretty sure it's because he hates that whole commercial idea of Father's Day. Do you know what I mean? Like, where the whole thing is like, it's Father's Day. You better buy some shit that he doesn't need and doesn't really want. Like, remember those, I don't know if you guys had this at your schools, but I remember in primary school, fucking genius idea, right? What the mums would do is every time there was a Mother's Day or a Father's Day, they would set up like a market in the primary school and they would sell shit that was specifically for your mum or for your dad, depending on what day it was. And it was really fun for the kids, but I just remember, I just realized how fucking genius that shit is, right? They've tricked the school into letting them have a stall and they're pretending that it's to help the kids do something nice for their parents because obviously we're in primary school, we're young. But really, those fucking geniuses are just scamming money out of every kid in the school because every kid is going to buy something, every single kid. And it was just shit like, you know, if it was Mother's Day, there'd be a candle. If it was Father's Day, there'd be like, fuck, I don't know. See, that's the thing with men don't get anything nice, do we? On Mother's Day, all of those trinkets, there'd be fucking jewelry, there'd be candles, there'd be flowers, there'd be bath bombs, what else? There would be perfume, just like nice little airy floaty shit that just does nothing other than it makes you feel good. Whereas when Father's Day came around, what would they have? They'd have tool kits and what else? Yeah, like tools. Like, here you go, Dad. Happy Father's Day. Fucking get to work, cunt. But it was a genius idea because every kid is going to buy something because otherwise they're going to look like in front of their friends like they hate their mum. Right? Oh, what's the matter, Jimmy? Did mum rape you? Why, buy her something, you know? Not that I even knew what that was in primary school, but I'm sure that's happened before where some kid just didn't want to buy into it, or his mum was like, no, don't get me something from there. It's a fucking scam. It's all overpriced shit. But it was genius, right? Because all of the kids would buy something from these mums, these shithouse $2 shop fucking trinkets, and then take it home for Mother's Day. And at the end of the day, mum's giving me money to buy her something from this shit fucking stall that all the other kids are scammed out of. And they would have made thousands of dollars. Because I went to a pretty big primary school. It was small when I started, but it got really big really quick because it was good. I went to McKinnon Primary and then McKinnon High School. Shout out to all the MCK fags who still live there. Go to school there? Live there? I don't know. If you live there, you probably should move out because that's illegal. And they would have made thousands of dollars because there were hundreds of kids and like everything was a fucking minimum of like $7 or some shit. So they'd rake in thousands of dollars every single year because they got Mother's Day and Father's Day. And yeah, they just make fat stacks out of exploiting Mother's and Father's Day. And I think that's why Dad doesn't want to do it, because he sees that shit and he hates it. He hates all of that consumerism stuff. He likes building stuff. He doesn't even buy guitars. He builds his own guitars. He built my guitar that I play on stage, which is really cool. And like I don't know, he's fucking weird. He just builds shit. It's really cool though. Like the last thing he built recently was a bow and arrow of varying different sizes, and also the arrows. He's like, I want to do archery, but I don't want to buy one. I'm just going to make one. Which really, that's how you should, like a weapon like that, a bow or a sword or something like something that's not a gun, right? Something real simple, a knife. You should build that yourself, and then use it to kill something and then eat it. Preferably not a human, but like an animal. So he just recently made bows, and then I think before that he was making knives, and they're fucking sick. Like, they're really good. He made my table that I'm sitting at now. What else did he make? He made guitars. He's just a fucking builder, and he just hates buying shit unless it's a tool or a musical instrument. I remember when I was a kid, I figured out that I could never ask Dad for money because he would never give me money, but I could totally get him to drop like $800 on a guitar. Just because he's like, yeah, guitars are cool. You should play a guitar. Here you go, mate. But I never did that because I don't know about you guys, but I always felt bad about, and I still do, about asking parents for money or anybody for money. I'm a very I suppose I got that from Dad. I'm a very self-sufficient person. I don't want to rely on anybody. I don't want to owe anybody anything. I don't want to have any fucking middlemen in my shit. And I reflect that attitude in how I sell my tickets, and like all my tickets are done through my own website that I built myself. I don't use Ticketek or Ticketmaster or OzTix, even the cheaper ones. It's my fucking system that I built. So the money, because you know, when I buy something from an artist that I like, I don't want some cunt in a suit getting fucking 30% of the money that I spend him. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I, as a fan, because I love being a fan. I think it's cool. And I always like to put myself in the shoes of people who like my shit before I do something. Like, if I'm going to sell something, whether it be a t-shirt or if I'm going to do a show or if I'm going to do a podcast, I want to step into the shoes of a fan, of a consumer. Because, of course, there are lots of people that I like, whether they're musicians or comedians. And I'm like, how do I like to buy shit? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's why Apple is so fucking successful, is because they don't just sell you an iPhone. You buy it and it comes in a nice box and you're like, wow, I get to open the box and there's paper and even the cardboard's nice, and look at this pretty fucking manual, and there's an Apple sticker and I can put it on my thing, and that's really cool, and it's totally made me forget that this phone was built by a 10-year-old Taiwanese kid getting whipped by a 50-year-old rapist. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm all about. My shows are not written by 10-year-old Taiwanese kids. They're written by kids that can speak English. But yeah, I try to. I feel that's more of an honest way to do business. Like, if I'm gonna ask for money for something from you guys, one, of course, it has to be a fucking good product. Like, if I'm gonna sell tickets to a show, it's gonna be the best thing I've ever done. And so far, with my first show, that was the best thing I've ever done. The second show was even better than that. So that was the best thing I've ever written so far. And the third show, I'm hoping to smash both the first two shows out of the water. Because obviously, you know, the more I do stand-up, the better I get at it. And, you know, the more you guys will enjoy it. So if I am ever going to ask for money for someone, I want to make the product fucking worth it. I don't want to do... Because there's so many, especially because with the internet... And with YouTubers and Facebook cunts, all those guys, we have this reputation of being shit on stage for a reason. And that's because there are so many people out there who just, they're big online, so they can sell tickets. So they're like, fuck, that'll make me heaps of money. I guess I'll just do it. You know, like the Janoskians, perfect example, right? Those guys are fucking huge online. They have a really loyal fan base, and they just do shows not because they want to put on a great show, just because they need to sell tickets to make money, and their management is fucking them up the arse and pushing them on down that path. And I think that doing stuff like that, that's really good if you want to make a shitload of money, but it doesn't last because, you know, people aren't stupid. If they pay good money, and it's when they come to a show, right, it's not just paying money, right? It's not just me asking, like if I put on a show, it's not just me asking for $25 for a fucking ticket, right? It's me asking, hey, I want you to fucking block off Friday night. I want you to organize all of your friends. I want you to plan your whole week around making sure you're free and available to see this show. And you know, you're not doing something else, and you're not doing something too early on a Saturday because you might go out afterwards. You know, it's like when you see a show, you plan your whole week around it. And if someone goes through the trouble of doing that, and you go to the show, and it's like, oh fuck, they're not putting effort in, or oh shit, I saw these jokes last year. You can tell, and then you're like, well fuck, I'm not going to go back. Because I've experienced that where I've seen it. I'm not going to name names, where I've seen a comedian and I saw them, you know, maybe in 2014. I'm like, oh, that was good. I'll see them in 2015. And they tell the same jokes. And it's like, well, fuck, I'm not going to come back next year because I might see the shit again. So I don't know. I try to make... How did I get from Father's Day into how I run my business? It's because Dad has, I suppose, has put that on me. And they're both... Mum and Dad are both self-employed as well. I think my family has a real problem with authority, especially Mum, being told what to do, which is why I don't have an agent, I don't have a manager, I don't have a boss. I think my drive to be successful in comedy, 60% of it is I fucking love comedy and it's my dream and it's the only thing that makes me happy. But 40% of it is my hatred of jobs. And those two, the drive to be a good comedian and the drive to, holy fuck, if I go back to work, I'm going to kill myself. Those two things really balance, really light the fire under me of like, oh fuck, I'm going to make a video or I'm going to be working at a call center until 45 and then I'll shoot myself in the, you know, during my work break, my 15-minute break. Just as they're like, Lewis, you're 1 minute late. I'll be like, fuck you, pull out the gun and just end it. That's my philosophy, right? Is that's what keeps me going. Is I love what I do and I hate jobs, and that really, because that's what I think. You know, all of these fucking, how we have this huge problem with depression in modern society and how it's such a big problem, and the reason for that, they're trying to fix it. And oh, why is it happening? It's because we have the system that we have built does not allow people to feel like they matter, like they're achieving something. Like that's why, I don't know, that's why I've been reading like women have been getting steadily more depressed since the feminism movement. And that's not me saying that, oh, giving them equal rights has made them depressed. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that is evidence that jobs fucking kill the soul, because as women, you know, as women were moved from not being able to get jobs and then they were allowed to get jobs, which by the way, good thing, right? Women should have equal rights and all that shit. But as they fell into the workplace and they all got into it and got integrated into the workforce and became equals, they started getting the shit jobs. They started getting the you don't matter jobs, the fucking robot jobs, the call centers, the fast food, the office jobs, the secretary, the receptionist, all that kind of horse shit job where you don't achieve anything and you don't matter, there's no progression. And then they start getting depressed because it's like, fuck, this is not what I was built for. Because you think about it, right? When we were evolving, okay, when we were evolving before we were where we are now, you know, destroying the planet and being really successful, you know, when we were now we're the big dogs, right? There's nobody on top of us, okay? Except maybe the environment, right? We're just going to run out of air. Mother Earth is going to purge us from this planet for what we've done. We've just been raping her for too long. She's going to be like, I'm sick of this. Earthquakes, hurricanes, toxic air, fuck you, right? But before that, when we were evolving, before we had like modern society, you think about it, when we were in tribes, right? Everybody had a role. Everybody mattered. I was the hunter, right? I went out and I hunted food. And if I didn't do that, people would starve. You know, then there would be a woman, she'd be a gatherer. She'd go and get berries and medicine and leaves. And if she didn't do that, people would get sick and malnourished and they'd die. And then the young kids, they would help clean. And if they didn't do that, we'd fucking die. And the old people, they would pass on their wisdom. And if they didn't do that, we'd never learn anything, we'd never progress, and we'd die. Everybody had a fucking role. But now in the system that we've built for us, like when I was working in a call center, I could feel myself moving down that path of fucking depression. You can feel it coming on because right now I'm really happy, right? I don't want this to freak you out. I'm very, very happy and satisfied with my life. I'm not satisfied, but I'm happy. I'm really happy with the path that I'm on. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I want to do more than what I'm doing now. I want to be more successful because I don't see myself as successful or famous or anything. You know, I'm still poor as fuck, but I don't have a job, and to me that's fucking amazing. You know, I could go back to working in a call center and I would make more money than I am now, but that would fucking crush my soul. Do you know what I mean? And when I was doing that kind of work, I could feel the soul getting crushed because when you work in those thankless robot jobs where you, like a call center is a perfect example. You pick up a phone, you help someone with their problem, you hang up the phone, and you do that again and again and again forever. You never complete something. My dad's a builder. He goes in and he's like, I'm going to dig a hole, and then tomorrow I'm going to put the foundation in. Then we do the cement. Then we do the frame for the housing. He's achieving something. He is building a house. And when he's finished with that, he can step back and go, look, a house. Sometimes we go driving and he goes, I built that, I built that, I built that, I demolished that. Do you know what I mean? He can look at his work and be like, fuck, I achieved something. I built that house. I can make this family really happy because they paid me to build a house. Even though they're in crippling debt now because they owe the banks their souls, I built the house. He can do that. My mum, she runs her own business. She's a hairdresser. She can be like, I make you look like a hot bitch. You know, I dye the hair of old ladies, kind of that bluey purple thing that looks like they have a disease, but they like it. That's all right. I've achieved that. I make people happy. Whereas when you're in a call center or fast food where you just sell fast food and you just go in a fucking circle, or if you're a receptionist and you go, yep, cool. You got a meeting with my boss and not me. And you just keep doing that forever. You're not achieving anything. You don't fucking matter. And that, I think, crushes people's souls. I think that's why people are so depressed, because they don't matter. Like when I was working at a call center, I remember so many times I would just be like, I'm sick of this. I hate this. I'm never coming back. And I would just leave. And the world would keep spinning. No one gave a fuck because I was a robot. And I think that there are so many people out there living that. More people than not are just living those fucking robot, don't matter, not achieving anything for themselves kind of existences. And that's the reason why there's depression so much. Like when I was... This is like really inside my mind of how much I fucking hate work, right? When I was 20, right? I didn't stop working until 21. Like early this year was when I left my job for what I hope will be for good. Like I hope that I will never have to get a job. Right now I definitely can't rule it out because I'm poor as fuck, but I have kind of, regular money coming in. All right, I'll tell you guys, I pay myself $200 a week. I'm fucking destitute poor, but that's enough to feed me. That's enough to go bowling at 11:30 on a Wednesday during the day like a fucking child because I want to. And that's enough to fund the comedy that I do and put out for you guys. I could go to a call center and be making $1 million, but... Well, not $1 million, but, when I was working in a call center bank, I think I was making like $900 a week. And that's a fuckload of money. You think about that, that was after tax. I was making $900 a week working full time, and every single week I would spend all of it. Fucking all of it, 100%. And I don't even know what I spent it on. Like I worked there for about 6 months. I have no idea what I spent it on. Like when I got fired because they found out about my internet shit, right? They didn't like it. And when I left that job, I had nothing to show for it. Like I didn't save up for anything. I didn't buy a car. I didn't go traveling. I just spent it every single week, all of it on useless shit because I was trying to fill the void. I would work there full time in a bank, answering phones, being a fucking good little robot. And then I would get to payday and I'd be like, fuck, I feel so empty. I'm going to fill this hole with shit. And I'd buy like a $300 jacket that I didn't even want. And I'd buy food every day because like I couldn't do regular packed lunches like I do now, because I'd be like, well, I hate my job. I need to at least eat something that's fucking nice every day. Otherwise I'm going to die. I didn't save anything because I was like, I hate what I do. Why would I save up this evil money that I don't even want? You know what I mean? Like, I had nothing to show for it type shit. And the only thing that gave me respite from that feeling was making comedy and chasing the dream and being like, it doesn't matter how much this sucks. I know that I'm going to get out of it and I'm going to do comedy. Even if I'm fucking dirt poor doing comedy, which I am right now, I'm so much happier. Like, and it's not just, when if you fuck a really hot girl and you're like, oh, that made me happy for about a couple of days. Not that kind of happiness. I mean, like, deep soul, I'm doing the right thing with my life type happiness. Like Zen fucking yoga happiness that you hear all those bald cunts yap on about, but they don't really feel it because they're just fucking reading a book and telling you about it. That kind of happiness is what I have now. And that comes from doing what I want to do and being a little bit successful with it. Because I can buy food with dick joke money. Dude, this week I went bowling at 11:30 on a Wednesday morning because I could, because I didn't have to worry about going to work, right? And that was the fucking best shit ever. I went bowling with Luke Kidgel. I smashed him at bowling because I wanted to. How often does anybody go bowling? They don't, because they have to work 9 to 5 and then they only have Friday night and Saturday night. So they want to do the most exhilarating things possible. So they go drinking, they take drugs, they go clubbing. Fuck a girl. That's because their options are limited, right? Their time is limited, rather. So they have to pick the most fucking out there action. Whereas I've got so much fucking time now, as long as I do my comedy and that, I can go bowling in the morning on Wednesday. And on the way to go bowling, I was like, I'm doing the right thing with my life, right? If I can pick a career that lets me fucking go bowling, like a 10-year-old, and when I'm 22 and feel excited about it, this is what I should be doing. And the performing and the fans and the views, that's all good. But bowling at 11:30 on a Wednesday, that's the fucking shit. So that was like a 10-minute rant on how evil jobs are. I'm not done either, right? I read this study where they were trying to, obviously money doesn't equal happiness, right? But there's a level of I think that money happiness thing is a little bit skewed, because obviously if you have no money, you're going to be sad, right? But so you do need some money. So they were trying to figure out what actually is happiness, how much money do you need, and how are you actually going to be happy? And they figured out that what really kills people is not just the job, but also the commute, how long the commute is. And they figured out the further away from work you live, the more money you need to be paid to make up for that happiness. They're trying to figure out like the price of happiness. I don't know, you probably had to Google it and read it, but it's really interesting saying that the further away you lived from work and the longer your commute, the unhappier people were. So often people will live out of the city because it's cheaper, but that means they have to commute longer into the city. So they figured out that the commute actually canceled out how much more money you were making. So they figured out like $1 brings you this much happiness. The commute takes away this much happiness. So if you live an hour out of the city, if you work in the city, and that saves you, this amount of money, and that brings you this amount of happiness, the commute cancels that out, and you're actually not better off. And it was a really interesting study. And I remember when I was commuting to work, I used to freak out. I used to have panic attacks just about like on the way to work, where I would look at I'd be sitting on the train when I was 20 years old, and I would look at a guy who was 50, right? And we're on the train, we're both going to work. And I would look at the clothes that he was wearing, the shoes he had on, the watch he had on, trying to figure out how much all of that shit cost. And I'd look at him, I'd be like, fuck, you're wearing the same $20 Target shirt as me. You've got the same fucking shithouse watch that your mum gave you as I do. Holy fuck, you haven't progressed at all because you've been sucked into this evil system and you haven't achieved anything and you can't get out, and you're 50, you've got a mortgage and kids, you're stuck here for the rest of your life. And I'd be like, fuck, that's me in 30 years. If I don't get out of this terrible system of work, I'm going to be that guy. And that's not to shit talk him. That's just, holy fuck, to motivate me, I need to do what I want to do. Otherwise, I am going to be stuck. So if you're listening to this, right, please fucking do what you want while you're young. Even if you're not young, take the fucking stupid risk and please do what you need to do. Whatever the passion is that you have, please fucking do it. Because otherwise you're going to be that 50-year-old dude who's fucking trapped. Take it from me, man. I've left work. I'm not rich at all. I'm still destitute poor, but I can afford food. I can afford to do something once a week that isn't super expensive. And I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. It's fucking amazing. Please do the thing, all right? Let's talk about something else. I want to read some iTunes reviews. Okay? Last week I was telling you guys to leave some iTunes reviews that were funny, and I would read out the funniest ones. And fuck, you guys really did deliver on that shit, right? I'm getting out my podcast now. I want to read some of the reviews. All right. Let's see. Top podcasts, comedy. This is how I found this. I don't type in my podcast anymore. I go to the iTunes charts because I like looking at me being on the charts. Okay. What am I now? Where am I? Spearhead Sundays. I am number 52. That's pretty fucking good because I'm recording this on a Saturday, so I haven't released an episode in 6 days and I'm number 52. Generally, when I release an episode, so Sundays and Mondays, I'm in the top 10, sometimes the top 5. So to be in the top 52 when it's been 6 days since an episode, that's fucking sick. All right, ratings and reviews. Here we go, most recent. All right. This review is by Spew Review, all right? They gave me 5 stars. Thanks much, mate. Really appreciate that. All right, so the lanky colon, that is Lewis Spears, lanky colon. Haven't heard that one before. I've never been called a colon. I've heard lanky, but not colon. Maybe I smell like shit. I don't know. The lanky colon, that is Lewis Spears, somehow manages to make an intelligent, in quotations, so you're taking a piss, mate, somehow managed to make an intelligent comedic podcast about everything wrong and right in society, leaving no gender, race, or religion out in his rants against humanity. His offensive humor always manages to create a great laugh. This is until you reach miscellaneous bit at the end. Then you remember he's just an idiot shouting into his microphone alone in his bedroom. After hearing miscellaneous bit at the end countless times, incinerating myself with gasoline seems to be the only option. Mate, you're fucking right. I hate this as much as you do, right? I love the podcast. That's fun. But the bit at the end, I fucking hate it. All right, I'll read one more and then we'll move on with the podcast. If you want to leave a review, go on iTunes, give me 5 stars and write something funny. I don't care about having the best reviews. I want to have the funniest reviews. This is like why I do this, okay? This is my ideal. So when somebody doesn't know my podcast, when they've never listened to an episode, I want them to go onto the podcast, the iTunes page, right? And they'll be like, oh, should I listen to this podcast? I don't know. Maybe I'll check out the reviews. And then they go and everything has 5 stars. I'm like, oh, cool. It's really highly rated. Maybe I'll read why is it so good? And then I want every single fucking review talking about killing themselves. And they'll be like, holy shit, what is this podcast? Should I listen to this or is it going to make me want to die? That's my ideal thing, right? I read this one as well. This one's 5 stars, such an inspirational show by Strong Majestic. I am a mother of 3 children. Oh, fuck, I got mums listening to this. Shout out to all the MILFs. I am a mother of 3 children, and between looking after the kids and cleaning the house, I hardly even have time to make sandwiches. Is this a mum or are you taking the piss? Okay, I'm feeling like this might be taking the piss. Sandwiches, I don't know. That's a very internet thing, all right? I hardly even have time to make sandwiches. Spearhead Sundays is great for a housewife like me who needs entertainment on the go. My eldest son listens to this show too. Okay, this sounds kind of legit. My eldest son listens to the show too, and the miscellaneous bit at the end helped him with his suicide problems. Thankfully, the miscellaneous bit at the end helped to give him the extra motivation to take some action. I am now the proud mother of 2 children. My former son is hanging from the ceiling fan, lol. Okay, I was wrong. I hope that's a bullshit one. My former son is now hanging from the ceiling fan, lol. I like that one. That's definitely a favorite review. All right, leave me some funny reviews. I'll read some out next week. All right, what have I been doing this week? I've been smashing the gym, guys. I've been doing really well. Thank you for all the fat shaming, the skinny shaming, right? All the body shaming you guys been leaving me on my on my fucking Instagram photos and on my YouTube comments. This is what I've learned from this little experiment. Body shaming works, and it doesn't make you feel like shit if you're doing something about it, right? So if you're a fat cunt and you're trying to lose weight, get your mates to call you a fat cunt all the time, and it will only make you feel like shit if you're not going to gym, which will motivate you to go to gym, right? So I remember when I had a week off when I was sick and you guys were still body shaming me, I'm not going to lie, hurt my feelings a little bit. But now that I'm going to gym and you guys are body shaming me, calling me a skinny cunt, it's just funny because I'm like, yeah, I am, but that's all right because I'm going to change it, okay? But I need something from you, okay? If you're going to body shame me, I need it to be legitimate, okay? So if you notice some fucking progress, you got to tell me, because if let's say 6 months down the track, if I post a progress photo and I've put on like, I don't know, 15 kilos and I look ripped as fuck, if someone says that I still look skinny, I'm going to develop an eating disorder. and so I need you guys to, body shame me, but if you notice some fucking progress, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to neck myself. So, look, body shaming from this experiment, this is what I've learned. It works if you're doing something about it and they're honest. So, you know what? Maybe it's not body shaming. Maybe it's just being honest. That's what we need more of. If someone's a fat cunt, you've got to tell them they're a fat cunt. You can't tell them that they're all this beautiful at every size horse shit. It's just incorrect. It's objectively wrong. Like, definitely, you should feel comfortable and happy with your body, because otherwise you're going to be depressed. Obviously, you should love yourself, but we should tell people in a nice way, like not in a malicious way, that they look like shit. Because why do you think people don't like, and this goes for extremely skinny people, right? When girls knock me back because I was fucking too skinny, okay? Why do you think that happens? That's because evolutionarily, our minds are like, I want a fit partner so that that means they're healthy and they can look after my kids. That's what it comes down to, is I want to choose a good partner so that my kids will be healthy. That's basically what it comes down to. That's why fucking peacocks have the feathers, because, the ugly women are like, wow, that cunt's got a lot of feathers. I want to fuck him, because then my children will have a lot of feathers and they'll get to fuck some other bitches, and then we'll have a big family and the race of peacocks will thrive. That's the same shit for humans, right? Girls are like, I don't want to fuck this fat dude, or I don't want to have this bag of bones all over me. I want a dude who can, protect me, make me feel safe, and choke the fuck out of me in bed. and guys are like, dude, I don't want this fat bitch all over me. I don't want to have this girl who's so skinny that if I put my dick in her, it'd come out her eye. It'd come out the other end, right? Because I want my kids to survive. I want her to survive childbirth. Because if I start rooting this girl who's fucking 30 kilos soaking wet, if she has a kid, she's going to get split in half, and then she won't be able to. The human race is going to fail. That's where that comes from, because biologically and subconsciously, we're programmed to want fit partners because we want healthy people, because we want a healthy human race, right? So to tell people that, sure, tell people that you should feel comfortable in your body and you shouldn't hate yourself because that's unhealthy. But to tell people that, oh, don't worry, man, even though you're fucking, 6'3" and 60 kilos, you're beautiful, dude. You're not, mate, okay? You're too skinny. It's time to eat some shit and hit the gym. And to tell, I bet I'm making a whole bunch of people feel shit. But you know what? You cunt started it. Well, I started it, right? I told you to start it. But at the end of the day, right, I'm getting body shamed. I'm talking from experience here, okay? I know what it's like to be a skinny cunt, and I'm doing something about it, and that's the best shit ever. There's nothing better than doing something than fixing a problem. Like, it's so easy to get lost in a fucking problem. Oh, I'm fat. I'm skinny. Like, that's such an easy mindset to fall into. Nobody likes me because I'm skinny, even though I have a good personality. Dude, a good personality is not going to fuck the shit out of a girl, okay? Right? It doesn't matter how good, it doesn't matter how funny you are, it doesn't matter how nice you are. At the end of the day, some girls just want to get the shit fucked out of them. Okay? So you need to take that good personality and be like, yeah, I've got this. This is great, okay? But how can I improve this? I know, I can hit the gym. I could get some abs as well. I get some arms. And you know what? There's nothing better than looking good and feeling good, because it's not even about physically being like a good. This is such a motivational podcast today, right? I'm talking about chasing your dreams. I'm talking about fucking getting healthy and looking good, okay? After you guys listen to this, we're going to go out there, we're going to fucking take over the world. All these cunts will be like, yeah, I'm sick of being fat. I'm going to get really hot. And all these girls will be like, I'm going to chase that fucking dream. I'm going to start my business. And then, we're going to come together in 10 years time, and we'll be the most successful fucking fan base ever. And I motivated you all. And you know what? I didn't even have to lose a limb. I didn't have to be a guy with no legs being like, oh, look at me, I've got no legs and no arms and I still fuck my wife. Have you seen that dude? I don't want to talk shit on him. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. Have you seen the dude with no legs and no arms? He's like a torso and a head. And he goes around and he does motivational speeches, and he motivates people and does all that stuff. He's also into really religious shit. Like, he's a bit of a religious nunner. So that's my excuse for hating on the cunt, because it doesn't matter how inspirational he is. He also hates anybody that doesn't read the same book as him at night, right? So fuck him, okay? And he goes around and he gives motivational speeches, and good on him. He's overcome his limited range of motion and his disability, and he's got the hottest fucking girlfriend, right? And he's got a kid, and I'm just looking at him, and I'm like, and outwardly, I'm like, wow, man, that's so inspirational. Good on you, dude. You've got no arms and no legs, and you found love. You're very successful. You're a motivational speaker. Good on you. But inwardly, in the deep part of my mind, the part of your mind that says stuff, like says something to you, and then even you go, dude, that was fucked. Why did you say that? Like when you're waiting for a train, and then all of a sudden you're waiting for a train. You're going to go on a date or some shit, or you're going to work. And you're like, I'm going to have a great day today. This is sick. I'm feeling good. Nice weather. This is sick. And the train comes up. You're like, sick. My train's early. This is awesome. I'm going to get a seat. There's nobody on the train. This is going to be sick. I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to meet a pretty girl. I'm going to, meet a nice guy. I'm going to have a sick day today. And the train starts pulling up, and then this little voice in the back of your mind goes, jump in front of the train. And you're like, what the fuck? Dude, I'm not even suicidal. Where did that come from? That thing, or like, or, well, that thought came to me, right, when I was looking at this guy. I was watching a video about his life, and they've got him swimming, they've got him walking around, talking to children, making teenagers cry because he's so inspirational and motivating kids. And my mind is like, wow, this dude's amazing. This guy's so cool. He's living the dream. He can even swim. The guy's got no legs and no arms. He can swim. He's telling jokes about his little deformed foot. I'm like, that's so funny. That's so awesome to see that he's doing that. He's got a beautiful wife. He's got a kid. He looks really happy. But then inwardly, my little voice goes, do you reckon he lets his wife fuck other people? Do you think they've ever had the conversation of, honey, look, I love you and, you know, you're amazing and you're such a good partner, but, I just really, you know, why? No, I don't. What is it, honey? Well, I don't want to make you feel. I don't want to make you feel insecure. No. It's okay. I'm totally okay with my body. I'm totally okay with my situation. And I love you, and I want to know. I want to know what it is you want to tell me. She's like, oh well. Look, I just, you know, I want to get fucked by a guy who has at least one leg. We can't even do doggies. You know, I would like someone who can at least pull my hair. Oh. And then he goes. And then he goes, look, I understand. I understand you. It's okay. You can do that. And I had that whole thought, that conversation in my mind, and even I went, dude, you're a fucking asshole. As if you thought that. How could you think that? Like I'm fucking admonishing myself for having these horrible thoughts. You know, you just sometimes you just see something and you know you shouldn't think it, but you can't not. It just comes out of nowhere, just this evil fucking thought. Like you'll see a woman in a wheelchair and you'll be like, how funny would it be to put a stick in that wheel so she can't go? And then you're like, dude, why would you think of that? Oh, fuck, that was me. I'm an asshole. I didn't even know that I was that much of a cunt. Or you have that, they're called intrusive thoughts. I remember reading about it. And most people have them, right? Where you'll be waiting for a train and then your brain just goes, jump in front of it, it'll be funny. And it's like, fuck, I don't even want to do that shit. Where did that come from? Oh man, that's going to be in the fucking news. Australian comedian makes fun of a motivational speaker, and it'll be a fucking whatever. Fuck you. Oh man, have you seen that group on Facebook? Our what's it called? It's like, where are our mates? It's such an Australian thing. I swear, nobody can shit stir like Australians, man. I think it's widely known on the internet that Australians are just fucking shit posters. What's the group called? I'm looking at my face. The group is called Where Are Our Mates? Melbourne's PT Ticket Wardens Today. And the whole group is just people take photos of ticket inspectors, post it in the group, and call them mates, sarcastically. They say, look at our good mates. Our mates are asking for donations. And it's not malicious, right? They're not going, look at this scum. They're fucking revenue-raising dogs. And all of that shit. It's just our mates, just pure sarcasm, fucking with people because it's funny. That's the Australian way, really. That's my whole philosophy. That's what I built my career on. I want to be the best at that shit. I just want to be the best at pissing people off for no reason other than, lol, you're mad. And I think that is great because there's 14,000 members in it. And these are people that are just from Melbourne. 14,000 people in Melbourne are in this group. And every time they see ticket inspectors or undercover ticket inspectors, they take a photo of them and they post it in the group and they go, 3 mates are on the Belgrave line asking for donations. Keep up the great work, guys. And a group that big, the fucking ticket inspectors must know about it. They must know. Because you read posts about them getting shitty about photos taken of them. And I just think that's great because that's what you get for being a fucking ticket inspector. Because in my view, what kind of person becomes a ticket inspector? I get the protection service officers. Those guys are cool. They're looking after us. They're there to keep the train station safe. But the ticket inspectors, the cunts in the coats, you know, fining university students because they forgot their proof of concession, you know, for the first time ever after riding the train for 4 years in a row, always paying. The one day they forget it, they get a fine. They don't even get a warning. That kind of shit. Who becomes that? A cunt. A dude who's not happy with his life, who's like, I'm going to take it out on the world. Really, there should be... The only reason why those ticket inspectors exist and why those cunts are there is because... Not because people fare evade, it's because there are people out there that are so much of a cunt that they apply for that job. That's what I don't understand. Who applies? When I see the guy working, I'm like, yeah, you're a cunt, I get you, but who the fuck applies? Like, who sees the job opening and goes, you know what? You know what I want to do with my life? You know what I want to do 9 to 5? I want to dress up in a big ugly coat and a pretend fucking vest, and I want to go around and I want to find people who can't afford it. That's what I want to do with my life. That's how I want to contribute to society. I want to find people because they forgot their ticket. That's what gets me. They took out the warning system. They used to be able to look at your track record and they'd be like, oh, so one day you'd be fucking walking to work and you get on the train and then, I don't know, this has happened to me before. I left my wallet on the train and cunts find me. I leave my wallet on the train, so I tap on, I fucking pay for a ticket, I tap on, and then I get into the city, I stand up, I leave my wallet and my train ticket on the train, I get out, and then they go, mate, can we see your train ticket? I'm like, yeah, sure, no worries, I've paid for it, absolutely, I've paid for it for 2 years in a row. Good on you guys, absolutely. Oh, fuck, I don't have my wallet. Sorry guys, I forgot it. My bad. And they're like, right, we're going to fine you. I'm like, dude, when I lost my wallet, not only did I lose my wallet, I also lost $300. And then I got fined another fucking $280 or whatever it is. So really I'm down $600. And I'm just looking at the guy and I'm like, dude. And the fucking cunt, right? He writes me up. He's like, what's your name? I'm like, Lewis. Where do you... And he goes, right, I need to see some ID. I'm like, are you serious? I just told you that I lost my wallet. He goes, mate, I need to see some ID. I'm like, mate, it doesn't fucking exist, okay? If I could conjure up an ID, I wouldn't. I just conjure up a fucking ticket, all right? I don't have my wallet. I lost it. What are you gonna do, okay? What, you want me to fucking draw on a piece of paper a fucking picture of my head and be like, this is my ID, mate. There you go. What do you want me to do? I have fucking lost it. And then the cunt has the audacity to make me wait around, and he calls up I don't know, it's just fucked. I'm just going to stop talking about it. It makes me so angry. I hate them. What kind of person applies? Someone with a tiny dick. Alternatively, the women, huge clits. That's what I think. That's it. You know, when you see the ticket inspectors come on the train, and you see and they're undercover, and you see this woman waddle onto the train, and she's got her fucking jeans on, and her Asics sneakers, and her big vest, and her dumb lesbian haircut. You look at her and you know, right? You know she's got a huge clit. You just there's just something about her. You're like, you know what? I see you. I look into your eyes when we make eye contact, and I can see by your body language and the way you dress and the job you chose, you've got a clit bigger than my dick. It's huge. And then you see her mate come on the train, right? Some big fucking 6'2" guy, and he's overcompensating, wearing a big coat, and he's a big fat dude, and you look him in the eyes, and he looks at you, and then he just averts eye contact, and you just see it in him. You just see that little flash of, I've got a little dick. That's why I do this. I don't know. The reason that gets me why I don't like all the fining shit is because the government, to me, public transport should be a government-run service. It should be free, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody going into the city is making money for the government by paying tax, right? Without the public transport, there'd be no fucking economy. Most people who are making money, like me, when I was going in, I'd take the train and I'd be there with thousands of other people going in, making money for the government, stimulating the economy. It should be a fucking free service. I very rarely do I think a service should be free and run by the government, because I totally get businesses and profit and all that shit. But public transport, to me, should be a government thing. It should be free. Or at least very, very cheap. And if you get caught fare evading, they really shouldn't fucking fine you. Because most right, obviously if you fare evade heaps, yeah, sure, get a fine because you're abusing the system. But most people who get fined, they're like one-off people. Old people who forget their seniors card, uni students who forget their concession card. Right, you'll see this all the time. Some uni student, a girl, she's fucking 19, she's going to uni, she touches on, and then she touches off, so she's paid for a ticket, she's got a concession ticket, and then the big fat cunts with the big clits, right, they're waiting there, and they're like, excuse me, Miss Little Clit, right, Miss Normal Size Clit, can you come over here and talk to me? I want to see your concession card. And they're like, oh, I've got to talk to Big Clit. And then they go over, and then they're like, I'm sorry, fuck, I've forgotten my concession card, but that's all right, because I have my proof that I go to a university. So here's my university card, here's my library card, look at this. This is what I use to go to university. And they're like, I'm sorry. We see that you've provided some evidence that you're going to university. I see your university ID. I see all of your books in your bag, right? But I'm still going to fine you because you forgot your concession card for the first time in your whole year. It's just really fucks me off how they do that. And you know what really proves that most of those fines are fucking horse shit is that whenever they go to court, whenever you dispute those fines, 90% of the time, they're thrown out of court. That's why they introduce those on-the-spot fines. Do not pay those on-the-spot fines. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in Melbourne, right, what the ticket inspectors do is they come up to you, and if you don't have a ticket, they'd be like, look, mate, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fine you $180, or, I'll fine you $200, and you'll have the chance to dispute it, or you can pay $75 right now and we'll just let it all go away. But you can't dispute it. There's no paperwork at all. And they have fucking FPOS machines. How horseshit is that? That's just fucking proof that they know the fines are bullshit. And I think the Consumer Affairs Board or whatever it is, some government body has said that that's bullshit and they should not be allowed to do it. And I think they have to stop it now. But that just goes to prove that they know their fines are fucking horseshit, because so many people have just figured out, well, if I dispute my fine and go, yeah, look, I did forget my ticket, but for the other 364 days I used the fucking train, I have paid for a ticket. Or I am concession. I just forgot my concession ID just today. I should not have to pay this fine. And then the court goes, yeah, that's obviously bullshit. I'm not going to make you pay this. And people have just figured out that so many times if you dispute it and it goes to court, they throw it out. That the Mikey fucking people have been like, shit, we're losing so many fines. How about we just, ask for $75 and we'll make it go away, and then they can't dispute it and we win. And then we'll make more money. Another thing is, when they started fining people and when they figured out how to be really efficient at fining people, so many people stopped fare evading that they had to raise the price of the fines because they were literally counting on that money. It was in their budget. Fuck, we need that money. We're going to have to raise the price of fines. So it's not to stop fare evading. It's to make money. That's evidence of it. All right, let's get on the miscellaneous bit at the end, guys. This is a weird podcast, wasn't it? First I got really motivational, then I started talking about a dude with no arms and no legs, and it got a little bit too fucked for most people's liking. And then I ranted about ticket inspectors, and now I'm going to make everybody want to kill themselves because we're doing miscellaneous bit at the end. Turn off the podcast, you don't want to hear this shit. All right. So, hey gay cunt, my name's in the email, please don't disclose it. All right, I'm going to call this guy Tim, okay? I'm a 16-year-old boy from England living in Australia. Fucking immigrants, I know. But I've been pretty mentally unstable for a while now, or basically since I entered high school due to family issues and just being a general dumb cunt. Well, I'm a gay cunt, you're a dumb cunt. All right, we're even. Anyway, recently I found out that my cousin in England fucked up real bad. By real bad, I mean he drove a car into 5 people. Fuck. Wow. Basically, he stole a car and got himself into a car chase with the police. He lost control of the vehicle and plowed into a woman and 4 kids. Oh, shit. Killing a 10-year-old boy and his aunt. Wow. Holy fuck, bro. That's awful. This is obviously a horrible ordeal for the people involved and is a horrifically tragic situation. The whole event has been blown up in the media in the UK and is also blowing up on Facebook. That'd be rough. The media are fucking parasites. The media have obviously been reporting on this and slandering my cousin, and comments on Facebook have been quite distressing, saying he should die and all that shit. I know it's something that he probably deserves, but he's family, you know. Anyway, it's a very confusing situation for myself as I have no clue how to feel about this. Being related to someone that has killed 2 people and injured 3 others is kind of disgusting, and I don't feel comfortable being related to such a person. I just really don't know how to feel about everything. I'm also kind of terrified of the media and the kind of shit they can spin and if it'll eventually affect me. I just wanted to know someone else's opinion. I've attached a link to an article about it if you want further clarification. Thanks for your help, cunt. Have a shit one. From Tim. That's not his real name. I read the article, and that's fucking horrible, bro. That's, I don't know what to tell you, man. Your cousin fucked up. Really, really, really bad. What he did was an awful, awful, awful thing. And he killed people, and he's also stole the car. Yeah, that's fucked. That's a horrible thing. I'm sure you know that. On the plus side, you did not do that. That's kind of the only thing that I can say, man, is you didn't do this. Yeah, he's related to you, but dude, he's a cousin, right? You probably don't even, you didn't help raise him. You went in that environment. You're not even his brother, man. You weren't even in the same house that, you have nothing to do with this, right? He fucked up. He's a dude who's killed somebody. And just because he's family doesn't mean he's not a piece of shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that doesn't have anything to do with you. You didn't fucking do this. You got nothing to do with that shit. Totally would be rough with the news and all that stuff, but you know how the news is. They're going to get bored of the story in a month. Maximum a month, right? And then when he gets sentenced or whatever happens to him, then they'll jump on it for a couple of days. So what I would suggest doing is just deactivate your Facebook, man, for a little bit. Couple of weeks. Get away from that shit. All of those comments, they'd be fucking with your head, all the news articles, right? And you'd be seeing family talking about it, I'm assuming. Just deactivate Facebook. It's healthy. Just don't keep it there, right? Deactivate it. You can deactivate your Facebook and then turn it back on. You don't lose any photos or anything like that. Just turn it off. Deactivate your Facebook account and just read a really good book, like a long book. Read The Wizard's First Rule, man. That's a fucking good book. That'll take you like a month to read unless you read it like for hours every day, like I did. Yeah, man, just get off the internet for a while. And it has nothing to do with you. You're not a fucking evil dude. He fucked up. You did not, right? You're in Australia, man. You're not even in the same country. Just, I would really recommend logging off the internet. That goes for anybody, right? Even if you break up with somebody. If you break up with someone and you can't handle seeing their... First of all, if you break up with someone, fucking delete them from your Facebook account, right? You're not together. You're not mates. You don't need them on Facebook. You don't need to see pictures of her tits that she's always wanted to post but didn't because she's in a relationship with you. If you're a girl, you don't need to see him talking about getting fucked up with the boys at the strip club, right? Because he's always wanted to see some fake tits and you didn't have any, right? Fuck that, okay? Just delete them from Facebook. You're not mates anymore, okay? You're fucking broken up. And same thing with this, man. Just deactivate your Facebook for like a month and then come back on it, and then, you're not going to see any of that shit anymore. You did not do that. Fuck. Yeah, that's horrible. I can't deny that's a horrible thing that your cousin did, but it's not, it's not your fault. All right, next one. Why I'm contacting you. Hey, Lewis, been watching you since early 2015 and have enjoyed old and new content. Now I've said that, I've noticed even though your podcast is for faggots, I find myself listening to it. All right, well, welcome aboard, you fucking fag. In seriousness, you make content and you have blah, blah, blah. All right, the problem. I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. Can you just give me a compliment? This is a problem with men, right? We can't give compliments. All the messages from women, lovely. They're like, I love your stuff. You're funny. Great podcast. You give great advice. But the guys just can't be nice to another man without adding in an insult. Just say you like my shit. Just say, hey man, good podcast. You don't have to call me a faggot and yourself a faggot, right? It's not gay, bro. You like my shit. That's totally all right. Just give me a compliment and I'll say thanks. We don't have to fucking beat around the bush with you calling my mother a whore, right? We can just skip that bit and just have some nice feelings between us. No one's going to get a semi, okay? Like if you go, hey man, nice podcast, that doesn't mean that we've kissed, okay? It's not homosexual. It's all right. Just say I like your shit, you fucking faggot. All right. So in the past week, my parents separated after 22 years of marriage. My dad, this is depressing, okay? These two questions are pretty depressing. I don't have a happy one. Can you send me some funny shit that I can make a laugh out of, guys? I need some more questions. If you want to send a question to the podcast, contact@louspears.com. That is contact@louspears.com. Write somewhere in the subject podcast, because that's how I find it. I just type podcast into my emails and then I find them all. So contact@louspears.com. What? Dude, you need to fucking listen. I do this every week and you don't... That's contact@louspears.com. Fuck, mate. Open your ears. Okay, so my parents separated after 22 years of marriage. My dad has been seeing another woman for the past 8 months. Oh, wait, that means he's cheated on your mum. Yeah, they separated in the past week. He's been seeing another woman for 8 months. Fuck, all right. This is partly our family's fault since we convinced him to get a fucking phone and get on Facebook. What? So because... No, dude, that's not your fault. He cheated on your mum. What, you think when you have Facebook, all of a sudden whores pop out of the earth and start forcibly having sex with you, there's nothing you can do about it? That is not your fault, man. Just because you got a phone and Facebook doesn't mean that he's going to cheat on... Fuck, my dad has Facebook. I better check on his mail. No, that's not your fault, dude. He cheated on your mum. That's a choice. Unless the dude got raped, it's a fucking choice, man. Anyway, he met this other woman. Keep in mind they're around 50, and they have been talking for the past 8 months, and they've met up twice. I've read the convos they've had, and it's pretty weird considering I'm 15 and it's my dad. Kinky shit. Oh, fuck that, man. Imagine reading that. That'd suck, dude. I swear he said something about phone sex. Anyway, the whole family confronted him about it, and he played the victim, saying things like, I've been depressed for years. See, I bet this dude has a job. Sorry, man. I've been depressed for years, and I've been so lonely for years. Although the marriage between him and my mum hasn't been good the past 5 years, I don't think that's an excuse. Yeah, dude, it's not a fucking excuse. My mum can't physically have sex. She told us that, so we knew why he said, I've been lonely. That's rough, man. Sex is really important for like a healthy marriage, but you still can't cheat on someone. Do you know what I mean? Like if you can't have sex, if somebody, I don't know what's wrong with your mum, but if she physically cannot have sex, right? If someone sewed her vagina shut or, I'm sorry, okay, whatever it is, okay, she can't have sex. Either he needs to accept that and find a way to deal with it, or they have to break up. And so because, sex is really important. I'll be honest, I couldn't be in a relationship with someone I couldn't have sex with. Like, let's say they were injured for 6 months. I'll be like, yeah, sweet, that's sure, but you're going to get better, right? Because if you're not, I'm out of here. No, but like, that's just me being honest. I couldn't be in a relationship. I couldn't be happy. It's not about me doing something for them. At the end of the day, you got to be happy in a relationship. And if that's part of the deal, then sometimes you just got to fucking deal with it. As much as it sucks, if I couldn't have sex with someone who I was with for whatever reason, I'd have to get out of there for my own sake, because otherwise, I'm going to do, I'm not going to be happy. But I would not cheat on them. I would break up with them as amicably as possible. So, yeah, it's not an excuse. And you're right, it's not an excuse. All right. My mum can't have sex, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he made himself seem like the victim and we're all mad at him. We kicked him out of the house and he knows my 2 older sisters, 19 and 17. They are feminists, so imagine that situation. They were mad at him, but not me. Anyway, he keeps trying to contact me and I'm pissed off at him and I've told him to fuck off, but I'm scared he will come after me. History. So growing up in the household was no easy task, as my dad has big anger issues and he's killed multiple animals and Dude, what the fuck? He's killed multiple animals and punched holes in the walls, hit me and my sister once or twice, but he hasn't for years. Anyway, he belittles us by saying if he wasn't working all the time, we would be homeless and or wouldn't survive. Mind you, my mum and dad agreed that she would stop work to raise 3 kids, and he always complains that mum never made any money. Yeah, see, that's fucked. That's the jobs killing his soul and making him angry because he doesn't have control of his life. And that's not your fault. Blah, blah, blah. He sold my mum's $10,000 car against her will to his sister for $1,000 and came home and complained about money. He's sexist and racist and just a cunt. He's a hypocritical, self-absorbed asshole. Help, what do I do? I'm mad at him for all his years of mental torment and the last few days of finding out shit he's done. I'm not sure if I should push him out of my life or keep him in it, as hard as that may be. I'm afraid if we push him away, he'll kill himself because the main reason he stayed all these years was to raise us kids. So yeah, what should I do? Fucking no idea, man. Yeah, that's a really horrible situation. I'll be honest, man. Short of raping me, I could not cut one of my parents out of my life. I don't know. I suppose that I could, I suppose if one of my parents cheated on the other, that'd be really fucking rough. You know what? Here's the thing. I could never permanently cut them out. I could definitely do it for like a long time. But I don't think I could do it permanently. Because at the end of the day, as much of an asshole as this guy is, he is your dad. Doesn't sound like he's... I don't know. He definitely sounds like a cunt, man. But sometimes your dad is a cunt and that's how it is. You know what I would do? I would just let him know. I would communicate with him. It's probably really important to let him know that you're really angry at him. Without being an asshole, you just need to let him know because, yeah, he cheated. And that's a douchebag thing to do to your mum. But, yeah, I would just let him know as reasonably as possible. Hey, Dad, what you did was really fucked. And the stuff you've been doing is really fucking horrible and mean, and I'm really angry at you, and I don't want to see you for a while. I'm not cutting you out of my life forever, but for now, for my sake, make sure that it's not about him. Make sure that it's about you, because it sounds like you don't want to see him for a while, right? It sounds like you don't want to cut him out forever, but it definitely sounds like right now you don't want to see him, and you need to communicate that to him. You need to say, this isn't to hurt you. This is for my mind, and I need to not see you for a while, please. And I think that if you can communicate that with him, he'll be like, hopefully he will take it well. You just need to fucking tell him, dude, what you did was horrible, and it was really mean, and what the family needs right now is for you to be apart from us, because you've really hurt all of us. Because, dude, he fucked up. Doesn't matter how much, he got Facebook, so what? He still cheated on your mum, man. And doesn't matter if she can't have sex, he still chose to do that before breaking up with her. What he should have done is got a divorce. If you can't be with someone and only someone, you just need to not be together. Even if you have kids, you know, an amicable divorce is much better than two parents who hate each other because one betrayed the trust of the other. That's better for the kids. I totally understand staying together for the kids, but an amicable divorce is better than fucking a household at war. So what you need to do is you need to say, Dad, you really fucked up. I'm really angry with you. Mum's angry at you. What I need to do for Mum's sake and my sister's sake is just not see you for a while and focus on repairing us. And when we're okay, I'm going to come back to you and we'll fix you and me. Please respect this decision. Something reasonable like that. Just let him know he fucked up. You need time away from him and you want to be with your mum. Let him know you still love him if you do, if that's a true thing. Dads need to hear that. It's very, even I struggle saying that to my dad, but I do tell him every, 3 years. You got to tell him that. Just tell him, look, Dad, I love you, but you're really fucked up and I need to be away from you. So, that was the two most depressing fucking parts of the most depressing questions we've had for a while. Thank you very much for listening, guys. Send in some more questions. I would like some from, can we have some funny ones or at least something that isn't help my life is falling apart? If you have falling apart ones too, send them in. But if you do have a question that's maybe a little bit more trivial, if you want my opinion on something or something to do with that, maybe just send in the life-ending ones. I'm happy to have those, but I would like some fucking, I don't know, something that when I read it doesn't make me want to go jump off the West Gate. That's what I'm saying, okay? Even though the miscellaneous bit at the end, because, let's be honest, guys, it's hard enough as it is with this fucking shithouse part of the podcast. Let's at least try and brighten it up with some funny questions. All right, guys, thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. Make sure you rate me on iTunes. Make sure you support me on Patreon so I can continue doing this stuff. And hey, maybe I could fucking pay myself $300 a week instead of $200, and I don't know, I could buy some shoes. No, totally up to you guys. If you want to support the podcast and everything else I do, I would really appreciate it. Check it out on Patreon. Give me a rating on iTunes. Spread the word about the potty. It all helps. And I'll see you next Sunday. Have a shit one.